Hello and welcome! Over the next few minutes, I'm going to rip through some pretty awesome things you probably don't already know. Or maybe you do. Either way, I hope you find this entertaining. Let's roll. The phrase computer bug originates from a literal insect malfunction. No kidding. In 1947, Grace Hopper and her team at Harvard University discovered a moth stuck in a relay of the Mark II computer, causing it to malfunction. They taped the moth into the logbook, labeling it First Actual Case of Bug Being Found. This event solidified the term bug as a reference for errors in computer systems, leading to the term debugging for the process of fixing them. So next time your computer acts up, you can thank a little moth for its role in tech history. This next one gets a little sciencey, so hang with me. Did you know that the temperature at which a liquid boils isn't fixed? It actually depends on the surrounding atmospheric pressure. At sea level, where the atmospheric pressure is higher, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. But if you're on a mountaintop, where the pressure is lower, water boils at a lower temperature. Lower pressure means molecules need less energy to escape into the air, so they boil at a lower temperature. This is why you might notice your pasta taking longer to cook at high altitudes. Alrighty then. Next. Imagine a world where the only colors on your TV were shades of black and white. Hard to picture, right? Well, thanks to the genius of a Mexican inventor, Guillermo González Camarena was a man well ahead of his time. In 1940, González Camarena invented a revolutionary color television system. It was known as the trichromatic sequential field system and was a breakthrough that allowed televisions to display images in color rather than black and white. His work paved the way for future innovations in television technology that we know today. And speaking of Mexican history, do you know why we celebrate the 5th of May or Cinco de Mayo? Interestingly, many don't. It commemorates the Battle of Puebla, fought on May 5, 1862, and marks the unlikely victory of the Mexican army over French forces. But here's the twist. While it's a significant day in Mexican history, Cinco de Mayo is actually celebrated more in the United States than in Mexico. Why? In the US, more so than anywhere else, it has evolved into a grand celebration of Mexican culture and heritage, especially among Mexican-American communities. In the sands of Egypt, 1922 marked a momentous discovery: the unearthing of King Tutankhamun's tomb by archaeologist Howard Carter and his team. But this historic find soon became shrouded in mystery and fear. The untimely deaths of several expedition members shortly after the discovery fueled rumors, with many believing that disturbing the young pharaoh's resting place had unleashed a terrible curse. While there's no scientific evidence to support the existence of a supernatural curse, some scientists propose that the deaths could have been linked to exposure to various toxins within the tomb. Did you know that France is the country with the most time zones in the world? Yep, you heard it right. France spans an incredible 12 time zones. Yes, 12. While mainland France is in Central European time, the country also includes several overseas regions and territories scattered across the globe. From the Caribbean islands like Guadeloupe and Martinique to the Pacific gems of French Polynesia and New Caledonia, each territory operates in its local time zone. How about that?
How about this for a happy accident? Oprah Winfrey was originally named Orpah, after a biblical figure in the Book of Ruth, but it was misspelled on her birth certificate. The name Oprah stuck. Well, at least he tried. The American Civil War began on the farm of Wilmer McLean, who then moved his family more than 100 miles south to escape the fighting, only to have the war end at his new house at Appomattox. The iconic shark in the 1975 movie Jaws was nicknamed Bruce after Steven Spielberg's lawyer. The mechanical shark was notoriously unreliable, leading to many of the film's delays and suspenseful shots, featuring only the shark's fin. The hit movie True Lies, from 1994, directed by James Cameron, was the first film to have a production budget exceeding $100 million. Cameron would later break his own record with his even grander movies, Titanic and Avatar. The coldest known place in the universe is the Boomerang Nebula, where temperatures drop to negative 458 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 272 degrees Celsius. That's just 1 degree above absolute zero. The prime meridian, located at Greenwich, England, is the 0-degree longitude line from which all other longitudes are measured. It is the starting point for the world's time zones, known as Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT.
Figs contain as much calcium as milk. Did you know that? Dried figs especially contain about the same amount of calcium as an 8-ounce serving of skim milk, around 300 milligrams worth. Other foods that are also high in calcium are almonds, leafy greens, fortified flour, as well as soybean-derived foods like tofu and edamame. So there. Those of you who might be milk and lactose intolerant simply have little excuse now to get your daily calcium. You're welcome. Did you grow up in the 1980s, like I did? Well, you might like this one if you don't already know. The band Toto, made famous for their single Africa, was also Michael Jackson's backing band on the album Thriller. Yes, several members of the band Toto, including Steve and Jeff Porcaro, Steve Lukather, and David Paich, were involved in Michael's album recording and production. Pretty cool, huh? Otto von Bismarck, also known as the Iron Chancellor of Germany, was famous for his strategic alliances and diplomatic skills, unifying the German states under Prussian leadership. He is widely considered a master of political maneuvering, particularly known for his skillful diplomacy and ability to navigate complex European politics to achieve his goal of unifying Germany through strategic alliances and calculated wars, often employing the policy of realpolitik. All of this helped maintain Germany's position in a peaceful Europe. Did you know that simply changing fonts can save you a considerable amount of printer ink? On average, using lighter fonts can save about 10% on ink for inkjet printers that use old-style cartridges. Certain fonts like Century Gothic, Times New Roman, and Garamond are designed with thinner lines, resulting in less ink usage compared to thicker fonts like Arial, making them more ink-efficient options when printing documents. Now that's something to write about. The word Pamukkale in Turkish translates to cotton castle. It's a remarkable site in southwestern Turkey that features stunning white travertine terraces formed by natural hot springs. This mineral-rich water cascades slowly down the hillside into pools below, creating a visually striking landscape. This area has been drawing visitors to its thermal springs since the time of classical antiquity. Scottish physician and microbiologist Alexander Fleming discovered penicillin by accident in 1928. He noticed that mold growing on a petri dish of bacteria prevented the bacteria from growing. In fact, finding the mold was indeed killing the bacteria. He quickly isolated the substance and named it Penicillium notatum. This discovery led to the development of penicillin, one of the most important antibiotics in medical history. So, what did you think? Pretty awesome stuff, right? We love putting all these facts and content together for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.